I fell in love with a man from another country. We dated online for 6 months. Then he came to visit me in my country for 2 months. We were crazy about each other and he told me he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me. He proposed marriage immediately and it felt too soon. But I loved him and I knew he was the one I wanted to be with. So I agreed to marry him. But my parents were against the marriage. They said it was too soon. But like I said, I felt he was the one for me. I loved him and I wanted to be with him. So we got married a week before he left my country. Now, the plan was for me to move from my country to his country. So I quit my job, sold my car and my apartment, packed my few belongings and moved to his country. Before I left, my mom told me to keep my money in a separate international account. And she asked me not to tell my husband about it. I never kept any secrets from my husband. And we shared everything. It was as if my mom was already seeing him like a bad guy. I refused because I wanted to start my marriage based on honesty. I didn't want to see my husband like a bad guy when he has not done anything bad to me. But my mom begged and begged. So I finally agreed to keep my money separately in an international account before I left the country. The move from my country to my husband's country went very smoothly. And my first few months with him was amazing. The only issue I had with him was that he didn't want me to work. And he never told me this before we got married. He had a good job and he could provide for us both, so I didn't really care. His cousin and his mom stayed in the house next to us and they came to the house whenever they wanted. I didn't really mind because they were very nice people. One thing I noticed was he was very close to his cousin. Let's call her Sharon. My mother-in-law told me Sharon's mother died after giving birth to her, so she has been taking care of Sharon since she was a child. My husband and Sharon grew up together, so they were practically siblings. That is why they seemed so close. I always felt left out of conversations because I didn't understand their native language. One day, I decided to learn the language secretly and surprise my husband once I started speaking his language fluently. So I started taking courses online. My husband wanted a child immediately we got married, and personally, I wanted to wait a little, but he kept insisting, so I agreed. 4 months into our marriage, I had not gotten pregnant yet, and I could see he was getting frustrated. I realized I was pregnant the 5th month after we got married. I wanted to tell him immediately about the pregnancy, but I felt I should wait a little bit longer so I can give him the good news in his native language. At this point, I could understand a few of the things they said around me, and none of them knew I was learning the native language. One night, my husband's cousin came to the house to visit him. I had just finished cooking and I was setting the table for my husband. Since she was there, I served her a plate of the food and we all sat around the dining table to eat. They started talking in their native language, and at first, they were just talking about the constant headaches my mother-in-law was always complaining about. Then all of a sudden, his cousin asked him how long she has to wait. Then my husband replied and said he was working on it. He told her she shouldn't worry and that I'll be getting pregnant soon, and then they can finally be together. I almost choked on the food I was eating. My husband looked at me and then offered me a glass of water. I apologized in English and told them I was eating too fast. They both smiled at me, and then his cousin said she cannot wait for me to get out of their lives. I acted cool, but I knew at this point that something else was going on. I was already pregnant, but nobody knew. I just knew I had to get out of there. At this point, I had no money on me because I was not working, but I had money in the international account, and no one knew about this except my mom. I sat beside them that night and pretended to read a book. From the little I heard, they've been sleeping together for a very long time. Even his mom knew about this. They wanted a child together, and they've tried for years but to no avail. So I was plan B. They lured me from my country to his to give him a child, and after I give birth, I don't know what they plan on doing to me. The next day, I told him I was going to braid my hair. I took only my passport and my phone and left everything else behind. I went to the bank, withdrew some money, bought a ticket, and left his country that very day. I called my mom on my way home. She was waiting for me at the airport. I broke down into tears when I saw her. She saved my life and I'm happy I listened to her. My son is 2 years now. I've divorced my husband, and my dad has threatened to lock him up if he ever steps foot in our country. Imagine what would have happened to me if I had not tried to learn his language. I don't think I would ever trust any man ever again. But right now, I'm just grateful for my life.
I'm not joking, all my guys, them know me. Since '06, I've been writing this story. I know be OG, but if you ask them know me. I know they blow trees, so you know you below me. Music chose me, just know this and know peace. I get lonely, but I'm never lonely. is over. I wanna hold you so tight, coming closer. It's been a hell of a ride, but every single moment you were there by my side. Whenever I'm wrong, you make me feel low. Whenever I'm alone, you're there for my soul. Wherever you are, girl, that's where I call my home. Whenever you're down, I'll be there. Girl, I want to be dancing with you forever. You see through the storm and take me as I am. Baby, it's magic every time that we're together. Come here, 'cause it's time. Hold you for a night. I wanna be in your life until the night is over. I wanna hold you so tight, coming closer. It's been a hell of a ride, every single moment. Hold you for life. So tight, coming closer.
I'm feeling vibes on vibes. I'm ticking dynamite. I blow your candle lights. You know I'm just that type. No, them no fit kill my vibe. Them no fit kill my vibe. No fit kill. Them no fit kill. Them no fit kill my eyes are set. Follow the stars. Yeah, you shall find a piece of advice. If you hit your enemies, enemies shine. If you're not a friend of me, enter the light. 'Cause you can never kill my vibe. But there with no sacrifices. Everything was taken, you had to make it. Vibe killer, me I no go take shit. Vibe killer. My stories, I see you getting my lifestyle. I see you watching my movements. This bad bitch bad every day. I know they look at your face. Bad man bad every day. Get on your knees and pray. Do you regain your faith? Bad killer, don't be somebody but don't take my energy from your partner. In my past, don't say I be my healer, everything I desire. I go receive my rhythm, flow like a river. If you get sour, come on, go and sit down. I go just para.